We have always welcomed refugees during their first 3 months of arrival here in the United States, which includes kind of some coordination leading up to arrival and kind of focusing on all of someone's basic needs when they first arrive. We committed to welcoming 100 Afghan parolees between September 1st through the end of the year. We have already welcomed 65 of those individuals over a very short 2-month period of time. So it has just been a very intense 2 months. Our travel notifications have been anywhere from 24 hours to 3 days for the most part. And that is the time that we have to set up an Airbnb apartment or figure out permanent housing, which really never happens on a 3-day period. Set up a hot meal and groceries, prepare all of the kind of paperwork that they're going to need.
This week, we just started our first small wellness group for Afghan women as a space for those newly arrived Afghan women to sort of come together and start to build community with one another and share in the struggles that they've experienced over the past few months and build a support network as they're sort of rebuilding their lives here in Philadelphia.
So for a newly arrived refugee student, we do help enroll them in school in the Philadelphia School District. So what that entails is right now during COVID, doing the online enrollment registration with families over the phone generally, and we use an interpreter. After a student is enrolled in their local school based on what neighborhood they live in, generally like a week later, we will accompany them in person to go to their first day of school, which is always, it's a big day, it's exciting, it's kind of nerve-wracking for everyone. So that's always a really special day.
I would say how kind of resilient they are. I think a lot of people that we're working with have just been through a tremendously difficult experience, evacuating on short notice, trying to get out of the country and then living in uncomfortable conditions on military bases, often for many weeks, even months before coming here. And I think people have just been really patient and gracious with us throughout this really difficult process and have really shown their resilience in starting to make a life here in Philadelphia. We are really relying on the financial contributions to help pay for both temporary and permanent housing. And unfortunately, the government funding just isn't enough to really meaningfully support people in getting on their feet when they first arrive here. And so we try to kind of extend that housing support as far as we can.